So I just got back from a week in Southern California. My dad died exactly a week ago. And so I went down to, help with the funeral and memorial service and to help my siblings, with the house and so on. So it was a full-time busy. Yeah, very little rest during the week. And it was nice to see in my reaction or response to Dad's passing that I was actually inside quite peaceful about it. He and I had a very good relationship, and so there were no outstanding things, that needed to be said or whatever. A friend of mine came over and who does hospice care, and she suggested doing these 4 points that you do when you're dying. And the first one was, like, I forgive you and ask you to forgive me, and, and I thank you for this and that. And I said, I've done all of that. There's nothing to do. Yeah, so we just left it. What really touched me in the process of being there, because when Dad died, I had immediately sent word to many of my teachers and asked them please to include him in their prayers. And Senchob Serkan Rinpoche wrote back, and and he said, it really impacted me. He said, may wherever your father is reborn, may there be Buddhas and Bodhisattvas there to help him and to guide him. And may he take the opportunity to follow them and follow the Dharma. And it was that last sentence that particularly woke me up, because we always pray for the people who are deceased, and even for ourselves and whatever, to have the good external conditions for Dharma practice. Yeah? But we often forget to pray or have the aspiration or for ourselves to develop the internal conviction to take advantage of the opportunity that good setting provides. And we see so often in our life people who have perfect opportunity to practice externally. They have the freedom, they don't have any external things encumbering them or whatever. But internally, they can't get themselves to really engage in practice in a serious way. Yeah. And so that was making me think, that even in this life, Dad, he had a Buddhist nun as a daughter. Yeah. But the opportunity to learn the Dharma didn't happen in this life. He met His Holiness, he visited the Abbey, he had many good seeds implanted. But, our internal mind has to be ready to take advantage of external situations. Yeah. So it's not just a thing of dedicating for good external situations, whether it's for somebody else or praying for, ourselves to have them. But especially, I think important is to dedicate so that we and others can have the internal situation to have very deep confidence in the Three Jewels based on conviction in the teachings. Yeah, because when we have conviction in the teachings, then our faith is based on something. It's not just abracadabra looking for, the next exotic hit of some fancy-dancy thing. Yeah, but to really have a mind that genuinely understands what samsara is, what nirvana is, how samsara goes around. What is the path to get us out of it, you know? And to have faith in those things, and therefore to have a mental state that is receptive, that is open, that wants to practice, that wants to learn. You'll remember in the Friday night teachings when I was teaching the qualities of a qualified Mahayana teacher, and then there was the qualities of a good disciple, which most of us skip over. Yeah, but this is the point of how important those qualities are, because developing those qualities in ourselves is what is going to make us able to take advantage of an external situation, should it be there. Otherwise, we could wind up, you know, because it's always been a strong image for me when I went to Bodh Gaya. There's so many people in Bodh Gaya selling tea, selling little Buddha trinkets. No faith in the Buddha. They're in the holiest place on earth with incredible teachers from all the traditions coming there. And for them, it's just a place to make money. Internally, no karma, no interest, no receptivity to make use of the external opportunities, yeah? So that kind of limitation can come about in so many ways. And so it's so important to develop in ourselves a mind that's receptive so we take advantage of the teachings and the possibility to practice. Yeah? It's really important, because without that, boy, you could be like a kid in a candy store, but you don't like candy. Yeah? So, you know, very important to really include that element in our own practice. We often see it here at the Abbey, don't we? You know, people who have a hard time getting here, or people who come but they can't get to the meditation hall. Including us, yes. Yeah? For one reason or another, I can't get myself to the teachings or to the meditation hall. Yeah? And so to really think, you know, what kind of karma are we creating for ourselves in those kind of situations? Yeah? And how do we, what do we need to do with our body, speech, and mind to make ourselves into a qualified disciple? And to make it so that we can really meet the Dharma in future lives.